Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor episode number 188 based on novel. So let's start. At this time, in the mid-air of the Xianling royal family, there were as many as 8 tyrannical forces, which naturally made many strong people in Xianling city discover. What's the situation? In the Xianling imperial city auction, Xue Qiangwei couldn't help but said, looking at the huge scene. Master, the Medusa family doesn't know why, but the 8 leaders attacked the Xianling royal family. And the Xianling king and the dragon-loving legion don't seem to be in the Xianling royal family. After a while, a subordinate appeared beside Xue Qiangwei and said respectfully, "Hihi, there's a good show to watch now. Go on, let our people pack up and prepare to evacuate. The sect competition is imminent. It's better that we don't come in the muddy waters of Shentian Santian." After the Blood Rose finished speaking, she immediately disappeared here. Lord Blood Rose seems to want to take advantage of the 3 ghost immortals to invade Zhuantianshan and rule the Blood River continent. But I seem to remember that there seems to be a holy flame in the place where the sect competed this time. The voice disappeared immediately after he finished speaking. At this time, in the mid-air of the Xianling royal family, the 8 battle circles, except for Yang Tian and the Snake King, were all at a disadvantage, as if they were about to fail. "You despicable snake people." Yang Tian frowned and hummed. "Each and each other." After the Snake King said, his eyes softened, and a poisonous gas of destruction emerged. "Yang Tian, it's time to end." Seeing that the victory and defeat were about to be decided in several other places, the Snake King did not hesitate, his withered palm slightly lifted, and a dazzling force of life and death rushed towards him frantically. "The old man is not afraid of you." Seeing this, Yang Tian snorted abruptly, his aura increased to the extreme, and he swept away the attack of the Snake King. Bang bang bang! And when the Snake King and Yang Tian were fighting, the other 7 battles were fought, and the outcome was already divided. In the 7 battles, except for Shenyan and Shenyang who were lucky enough to win, everyone else was defeated. Damn! Yang Tian looked at the attack of the Snake King, and when he saw that the people on their side had failed, they immediately attacked their hearts with blood, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. "You lost." The Snake King didn't hesitate to see Yang Tian distracted, and suddenly slapped Yang Tian, and then Yang Tian was instantly hit by the terrifying force and flew out a lot of distance. It seems that our Xianling royal family cannot escape this disaster this time. Only at this time did they know that the Medusa family is powerful. If it wasn't for the Xianling King and the Dragon Addiction Legion, I'm afraid the Xianling royal family would have collapsed long ago. Since the matter has come to this, then kill all these people in front of you. The Snake King gave a slight glance, and then spoke. As soon as the voice fell, there were 7 people around the Snake King, their figures skyrocketed, and they went directly to the people below, and a monstrous killing intent emerged. "It's over." At this time, everyone below felt a burst of sadness, and then felt the killing intent of the 7 leaders of Medusa, and slowly closed their eyes. "The miscellaneous snakes of the Medusa clan also want to kill my Xianling royal family." With a disdain, he suddenly appeared from the sky, and then a shocking force of life and death suddenly spread out. Crash! With the appearance of the mysterious power of life and death and the voice, the 7 figures hurriedly retreated, and then returned to the Snake King. Because with their perception, they know that the person in front of them is full of danger. "King Xianling." Seeing this, the Snake King couldn't help but say something. However, the Snake King knew that King Xuanling's aura was extremely wrong right now. The power of life and death clearly reached the level of fighting immortals. With the addition of a man beside Xianling King, the Snake King couldn't help but feel a burst of fear. The Medusa family is really brave. King Xianling glanced at the few people below, all of them had scars to varying degrees, and then he said, "The purpose has been achieved, then let's go too." The Snake King said earnestly, and immediately meant to leave. When Queen Medusa left, she asked the other 7 chiefs to listen to the Snake King temporarily, and Queen Medusa also specifically explained that she should not kill the members of the Xianling royal family, just be a disgrace. Although the Snake King didn't know why Queen Medusa made such a strange request, he still followed suit. Obviously, the purpose has been achieved at this time, and it is time to leave. "Let's go." Looking at each other, the figure of the Snake King immediately retreated, obviously planning to escape. "Humph! My King Xianling is here today. If you are run away by the 8 snakes from Medusa, then my name as King Xianling will be called in vain." The giant hand directly blocked everyone's retreat. And with Xianling King's handwriting like this, the Snake King's complexion suddenly became extremely ugly, because he felt a wave of death from the energy giant hand blocking the road. That kind of fluctuation is enough to explain. This King Xianling is also an immortal warrior, Doxian. The corner of the Snake King's mouth opened bitterly, and then he sighed. Let's go. But the Snake King also knew that with the strength of the 8 of them, they might be able to fight the reluctant King Xianling, but the price was too heavy. Where to run? Seeing that the 8 Snake Kings were fleeing in the opposite direction that was stopped by the giant hand, King Xianling shouted loudly, "Give me a shot and catch these guys." And King Xianling is already at the end of his force at this time. After all, if he insists on mobilizing the power in his body, he may be attacked. After all, King Xianling has not yet completed the refining process of life and death. Power to advance to Doxian. After King Xianling finished speaking, the man beside him slowly got up, like a ghost, and disappeared in place in an instant, and when Zaidu appeared the next moment, he blocked the escape route of the 8 Snake Kings. It's just that Xian Kang has done an excellent job, and his hidden strength is extremely perfect. Go back. Xian Kang's eyes didn't have any extra fluctuations, as if a killing machine, he gently said something to the Snake King in front of him. Bang bang bang. With Xian Kang drinking like this, the power of life and death in the body of several leaders suddenly solidified. 2 stars fighting immortals. At this moment, the Snake King's forehead pupils completely darkened, and a real fear filled his heart. Looks like it's about time. From now on, these 8 guys probably won't have any doubts about my decision. On the territory of the Medusa family, Queen Medusa stood in the air and spoke slightly. And Shifu also stood aside. She knew that this attack on the Xianling royal family was actually to help Queen Medusa to centralize power. After all, there were still a few people who were slightly dissatisfied with the 8 Snake Kings, but after this time their Medusa clan should be more united. Kill them for me, Xianling shouted loudly. Die. As King Xianling spoke, in Xian Kang's hand, a dazzling flame of fighting immortal power that was enough to destroy the entire Xian Santian appeared, and then gently attacked the Snake King and the others. The Snake King and the others originally wanted to escape, but at this moment, the power of life and death in their bodies has solidified, and it has obviously become food for anyone to slaughter. One color swallowing power. Just when Xian Kang's attack was about to hit the 8 chiefs, a voice of the Supreme One slowly resounded through the whole world, and then from a distant place, a green light beam, with the swallowing python the ferocious aura suddenly collided with Xian Kang's attack. Boom boom boom. After a while of attack, the 8 Snake Kings also disappeared, and Xianling King could only temporarily give up chasing the 8 people, shook his head secretly, and then took Xian Kang to retreat. The Xianling royal family below was at the core, looking at the appearance above the sky, and did not look back. We're not dreaming. After finishing speaking, some strong men shook their heads and left. It seems that this time, Shen Tiantian is really going to change. When Yang Tianzuoli and a group of strong men saw the battle just now, they obviously knew something. As for the 8 Snake Kings, they were rescued back into the desert by Queen Medusa's power, but all 8 of them knew that this time, Queen Medusa would become the real queen in the desert. I originally wanted to separate 2 chapters, but I simply put together one big chapter. And with the huge battle of the Medusa family and the Xianling royal family, it naturally spread to many supersects in Shentian Santian. However, the senior leaders of the supersect were also indifferent and did not make any noise. After all, the sect competition will start in less than a year. At this moment, the disciples of their respective sects are concentrating on their cultivation. Burning Incense Pavilion 5 Bamboo Residence. The air outside is still good. Xiao Yi pushed aside her room and said while looking outside. Xiao Yi was also quite helpless when her eldest brother Xiao Yang called her to go to the underground palace of the Xianling royal family. She entered the underground palace smoothly, but did not find Xiao Yang's aura, and immediately returned without success. As soon as he returned to the Burning Incense Pavilion, he learned the news of Xiao Yang's retreat, but the good news is that Xiao Yang also deliberately put the fire of life and death in his room, so at this time, Xiao Yi has successfully entered the next door. A stage. If you are fighting with Big Brother's possession, I'm afraid you can fight the 9-star Dodi who has entered the rank 9 level. Devouring the life and death medicinal materials, my strength has skyrocketed to the level of a rank 5 9-star Do Emperor. Xiao Yi felt the power of the origins in her body and couldn't help laughing. It turned out to be Brother Yi. Your aura is a bit strong. Mu Feng said slowly. Although Xiao Yi's identity is special, but now Xiao Yi's strength is probably even more arrogant. Xiao Yang hasn't left the customs yet? Seeing Xiao Yi sitting in the yard smiling and responding to him, Mu Feng came out directly. The 5 of them, Green Flute had already returned to the Medusa clan, while Xiao Yang and Xiao Yi had just returned, and they had retreated one after the other. In addition, Mu Yingying had been in the forbidden area of the Burning Incense Pavilion since her return, so Mu Feng was suffocated. I think it should be soon. Xiao Yi looked at Xiao Yang's room and said. Just as Xiao Yi finished speaking, Xiao Yang's house was gently pushed open, and a figure appeared slowly. Big brother. Xiao Yi said directly without thinking about it. Ha ha ha, your kid actually broke through in front of me. Xiao Yang said with a hearty smile, and immediately put his hand on Xiao Yi's shoulder. Hey, it's still the life and death gunpowder that Big Brother collected. Xiao Yi said with a grin. Breakthrough? At this time, Mu Feng's pupils also solidified slightly, and his smile gradually became strange, staring at Xiao Yang. I was lucky enough to break through to the early stage of the 7-star Do Di. Xiao Yang said without concealing it. Damn, you are all monsters. Mu Feng couldn't help but utter a foul language when he heard this. He possesses a mysterious cultivation technique, and with the help of that mysterious cultivation technique, his current strength has finally been raised to the level of a 6-star Do Emperor consummation. Good luck. Xiao Yang was not proud, but said modestly. I got it. If anyone had your luck, I'm afraid our Funxiang Pavilion would have occupied the master of the Shenling continent. Mu Feng rolled his eyes and said. By the way, how long until the sect competition? Xiao Yang suddenly asked. It should be half a year. Mu Feng said. Half a year. It just so happens that I still have some medicinal herbs to refine. I think I can perfect them before the sect competition. Xiao Yang said with a smile. Where are Mu Yingying and LVDI? Xiao Yang asked after looking around and seeing that Mu Yingying and LVDI were nowhere to be seen. Green Flute has returned to the Medusa family. There should be something. As for Mu Yingying, I don't know much, but I always feel that I might have to trouble you with this matter. After Mu Feng finished speaking, her face turned ugly. Obviously, after returning from Mu Yingying, you have never been to Wu's Huju, so I don't know if she was under house arrest or what. In this case, you'd better go to the forbidden area to see for yourself. After Mu Feng finished speaking, he sighed and walked slowly back to his room. Big brother. Seeing Mu Feng like this, Xiao Yi couldn't help but say something. As I said, she is our partner. Xiao Yang slowly shook his head. I'll take a look, you guys are here waiting for my news. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he went directly to the forbidden area of the Burning Incense Pavilion. At this time, the forbidden area of Burning Incense Pavilion is naturally the highest standard conference room. Since Yang Kai was rescued back then, this conference room has become a living place for Mu Yingying and Yang Kai. Brother, I want to see him. At this moment, in the conference room, Mu Yingying stared in the direction of Wu's Huju, her pupils filled with longing. When I left my own world and came to Shen Santian, I was looking for my brother. Now that I found my brother, I have also let go of the heavy responsibilities in my heart, and naturally I have time to think about other things. No. Although according to what you said, that kid is very likely to know the identity of your holy flame, plus that kid always feels weird to me, it seems that he exists to devour us. So it's impossible for me to let you go into the tiger's mouth. Yang Kai said. After Yang Kai came back, he redressed, his eyebrows and hair were all red, which looked quite strange, but his strength was undoubtedly a perfect level of 1-star fighting immortal. Brother, Xiao Yang is not that kind of person. After Yang Kai said this, Mu Yingying frowned immediately, and said to Yang Kai Jiao Jiao, her beautiful eyes also revealed a deep resentment. I just don't want you to get hurt. Yang Kai couldn't help but the girl was so coquettish, and his tone softened immediately. Do not want. During your absence, if it wasn't for that guy, I'm afraid now I don't know that he was eaten by that person. Mu Yingying continued. That kid's aura is too weird. Just because that kid already has a holy flame on him, I won't let you take the risk. Yang Kai said coldly, he knew that this kind of thing has 2 consequences, so for the safety of Mu Yingying, it is better to refuse from the beginning. My good brother, I have listened to your words for so many years. This time, let me be willful, okay? Also, the injury in your body also requires Xiao Yang's holy flame. Mu Yingying walked quickly to Yang Kai, stretched out her jade hand, and directly grabbed Yang Kai's arm and swayed. I really can't help you but... No, no. Looking at the fiery anticipation in the girl's pupils, Yang Kai sighed, and then gently patted her with her arms, trying to knock the girl out. Why? Why is it impossible? And with Yang Kai's approach, the arm had just been raised to Mu Yingying's stamina, and before it hit, even the 3000 blue silk in the pupil of the girl in front of him instantly turned into a blue sky color. An unprecedented majestic force suddenly emerged. My brother is here. Let's go back. No more treatment, let's go back, I just want you to be happy. When Yang Kai finished speaking, his nose suddenly became sore. Brother, I hate you. After Mu Yingying finished speaking, she broke free from Yang Kai's restraint and ran out, but there was a deep resentment in her pupils. Oh, my silly sister. People's 7 emotions and 6 desires, only the words love hurt people the most. My brother has been wounded all over the place. I don't want you to make the same mistakes again. I just want you to be simply happy. What did I do wrong? Rao Yanchi's current 1-star fighting immortal consummate strength was helpless for a while, but his nose was sore. However, it's not just Yang Kai, even Fen Tian didn't detect the inconspicuous bloodstains on Yang Chai's body before. The bloodstains are extremely evil. Come out. After a while, Yang Kai said a little directly to the void on the side of the conference room. Junior Xiao Yang, I have seen Senior. When Xiao Yang heard the words, he was no longer hiding and came out of the void. However, Xiao Yang had just come here, and he did not listen to the previous conversation between Mu Yingying and Yang Kai go in. Listen to Fen Tian, you have a great contribution to the plan to save me this time. Yang Kai looked at Xiao Yang with a good complexion in front of him, looked up and down and then said. Junior is only doing his best, everything is due to the pavilion master. When Xiao Yang heard the words, he naturally shied away. This Yang Kai is said to be a strong man in Fenshen's era, and with the addition of Holy Flame, I am afraid that Fenshen may not be able to defeat. Not arrogant or impetuous, but a good seedling. But this is the second time I've seen that old fellow from Fen Tian praise a disciple so much. Yang Kai turned his head and said to Xiao Yang. The second time? Xiao Yang exclaimed when he heard the words. That's right, the second time. The first time should be the guy from decades ago. Yang Kai said. That guy. Xiao Yang said loudly. Fen Tian practiced everywhere before inheriting the position of Funxiang Pavilion's pavilion master. During one experience, he once adopted a stray child. Since that child has followed Fenshen, he has shown an astonishing talent for cultivation. Even if he is as arrogant as Fenshen, he can't compare. In addition to having a good character, I was soon taught by burning incense. Since then, that adopted son was regarded by Fen Tian as his own, and he was raised at all costs. However, in the previous sect competition, he fell sadly. The reason for the fall is still unknown. After all, the fall was in the place where the sect was tested, so it is still in the dark. For this reason, Fen Tian didn't hesitate to make a fuss about the Xianling royal family 3 times, beheading a lot of powerhouses in the Xianling royal family. In addition, our Burning Incense Pavilion and the Medusa family have a good relationship, and the Xianling royal family and the Medusa family are mortal enemies, so our Burning Incense Pavilion and the Xianling royal family are also deadly enemies. Yang Kai said. There is still such a secret. I just don't know how that senior fell. Xiao Yang said. This is not clear. The disciple's name is Yin Tong, but in Fen Tian's last search, he found some clues about the Xianling royal family. This time in the sect competition, if it is possible, let him give him the truth. After all, that place is too strong for Fen Tian's level of suppression. When Fen Tian entered rashly, he also suffered some hidden diseases. Yang Kai said slowly. Junior will naturally try his best. Through the conversation, Xiao Yang knew that it seemed that Yin Tong had fallen in the place where the last sect competition was held. As for the specific truth of the fall, I am afraid they still need to investigate this time. But then again, are you the Xiao Yang who made my sister fascinated? The strength of the 7-star Do DCN the early stage is to possess the fire heart Tianyang. Only at this moment did Yang Kai carefully remember that Xiao Yang seemed to be the guy Mu Yingying was talking about. Senior, Mu Yingying, she. Xiao Yang seemed to be hesitant to speak. I was originally a human being converted from Shenyang. She is my sister, what do you think? Yang Kai slowly shook his head. But she is also my partner. Xiao Yang heard the words, the big stone in his heart suddenly fell, and then said softly. A friend or a partner? In a few days, I will take her back. Yang Kai refused. Fair enough. The human world is inherently vicious. Faced with the treasure of heaven and earth like Shenyang, not many people can't be jealous. Xiao Yang heard that, although he was reluctant to part, he was relieved when he thought of Zuna and Kaylin. What the is this kid doing? Seeing Xiao Yang's appearance, Yang Kai couldn't help but mutter. However, before you leave, seniors, Let the juniors heal the wounds in your body. This is also a little bit of my affection for Mu Yingying. Xiao Yang said with a smile, relying on his perception and what Mu Feng said before. Xiao Yang knew that there was something wrong with Yang Kai. Well, that's fine. But if you want to heal me, I'm afraid you can't do it now. Yang Kai thought for a while, and then spoke slowly. Why did the senior say this? Xiao Yang asked in confusion. In half a year, I will be in the sect competition. If I want to truly heal me, I'm afraid I need something from the sect competition. Yang Kai shook his head. Junior wrote it down. Xiao Yang nodded slightly. Since Yang Kai had said so, how could Xiao Yang not understand? So in the next period of time, you should cultivate well. Before the sect competition starts, I will tell you about the precautions and the thing that healed me. Yang Kai said. Mu Yingying she. Xiao Yang nodded secretly, then he didn't notice Mu Yingying, so he spoke immediately. Xiao Yang, you have a lot of hidden aura on your body. I can feel that you are very extraordinary, and your future achievements are probably limitless. Yingying is just an ordinary girl. As a brother, I don't want her to be involved in these things. Do you understand? Yang Kai said earnestly. Senior is right, but Mu Yingying and I are companions, but we can only be companions. Xiao Yang said with a relieved smile. Although Xiao Yang knew what Mu Yingying was thinking about him, he was a married man, so he couldn't be sorry for Zuna and Kaylin, or if these two people knew, Xiao Yang would probably only be reduced to sleeping in a woodshed in the future. However, Xiao Yang still respects Yang Kai quite a bit, and Xiao Yang is relieved that Mu Yingying has such a brother. Go down. Mu Yingying is in the small forest outside. If you want to see her, then go and see her. Yang Kai struggled for a while, but couldn't help but say. Originally, Yang Kai didn't intend to let Xiao Yang and Mu Yingying meet again, but when she thought of Mu Yingying's desperate eyes, she became weakened. Xiao Yang heard the words, said goodbye to Yang Kai gently, and then walked towards Mu Yingying's direction. At this time, in Xiao Yang's acceptance of the ring, the Golden Dragon King sensed the aura of Yang Kai in front of him, and he also had a smile on his face, but for some reasons, he could not meet with Xiao Yang and Yang Kai. This volatility. Is it from the Xiao family? Could it be that someone escaped from the center of the human world? The next moment, the Golden Dragon King flashed golden light all over his body, and two vague figures slowly appeared in the Naji. The two figures are like chasing the stars and the moon, as if one person is chasing and killing another person to escape. How could the people of the Xiao clan be hunted down by the law enforcers in the center of the human world? And the master of the Soul Eater in the Soul Eater also spoke slowly. Looking like this, that guy should be able to hold on for some time, but it won't be long before he will come to Shen Santian's side. It seems that I can't stay in Xiao Yang's body anymore. I have to help this guy revive his ancestors, and then go to rescue the Xiao clan guy, and then bring the two Xiao clan people back to the Dragon clan. After the Golden Dragon King finished, suddenly, some halal seeds flowed out of his mouth, and then they were placed in a very delicate jade, and placed in a very conspicuous place in the ring, and then they calmed down. When there is a new challenge, you can go in later in this chapter, give more likes every day, and it will become a starting point coin red envelope to be distributed to everyone, and a monthly ticket will also send a starting point roll, don't miss it. Walking alone. Outside the conference room, a shadowy figure walked aimlessly, with no masters. Originally, I came to the human world to find my brother, but after finding my brother, I didn't want to go back. In the past, there was always the shadow of his brother in his mind, but now after finding it, his mind is full of Xiao Yang's figure. I want you to take care of it. Qianying was slightly dissatisfied, and said a word without looking back. From her voice, she could tell that Qianying was not in a good mood. When Xiao Yang heard this, he couldn't help but froze for a moment, and then laughed a few times in embarrassment. Xiao Yang. But as soon as she finished speaking, Mu Yingying moved her beautiful eyes, because this is the forbidden area of the Funxiang Pavilion, and basically no one would come and go, and the voice she just said was very familiar. It looks like you're in a trance, haven't you had a good rest? Xiao Yang smiled slowly. Aye. Now when Mu Yingying saw Xiao Yang's first glance, she was not happy, but scared. Because she was afraid that Xiao Yang might have other misunderstandings or opinions about her. Although she is also human, in the final analysis, her body is a holy flame. Because Mu Yingying had heard about all kinds of things that humans directly devoured the holy flame medicinal materials into human beings, so now Mu Yingying doesn't know what Xiao Yang thinks, she is naturally afraid. Do not worry. In my heart, no matter what your status is, we are all very good partners. We got out of the points grabbing competition together and came to Shen Santian. Various things happened. Xiao Yang looked at Mu Yingying's slightly nervous mood and couldn't help but say, "Can. But I'm a human being converted from Shenyang. Aren't you afraid that one day I won't be able to control myself and kill you?" Mu Yingying said after a while. As for Xiao Yang killing herself and taking away Shenyang, Mu Yingying never thought about such a thing. Mu Yingying didn't even have to think about it. She knew that Xiao Yang could not be such a person. "Don't worry, I'm not as vulnerable as you think. Even if that day does come, I will be willing," Xiao Yang said. "Are you curious about my brother and me?" Mu Yingying was a little excited when she saw Xiao Yang say this. "Well, there is one point. Senior Yang Kai is also a powerhouse with a perfect one-star fighting spirit. How could he be bound by the powerhouse of the Shenling royal family? The strongest members of the Shenling royal family have only the strength of the one-star Dozian early stage." Xiao Yang was still extremely puzzled about the matter of Yang Kai. "According to what my brother told me, my brother and I were born in a treasure land, and because of the treasure land, the two of us easily converted to human beings. At that time, my brother was stronger than me, so naturally, by chance, he left me and went there. The human world. I came to the human world, in order to hide my identity as Shenyang. I started to cultivate continuously from the one-star Do Emperor, and got to know Fen Tian. A series of things happened in it, but when my brother was caught by the Shenling royal family, his strength was only the peak of Emperor Do. And when I was caught, my brother was also extremely confused. He vaguely remembered that the person who caught him seemed to be an evil person, somewhat like the power of an alien clan." Mu Yingying said a lot in one breath. When Xiao Yang heard this, he nodded slightly. Sheng Yang is a territorial evil for the alien race, so he has a very strong perception. In addition to the relics of the bright moon, the blood curse of the alien evil race on the two brothers of the Shenling royal family, Qi Haoren, made Xiao Yang have to think of it. Issues. It seems that this Shenling royal family is not as simple as we thought. Xiao Yang slowly shook his head. According to Xiao Yang's guess, Yenchi's arrest, because of the relationship between Yang Kai and Fengxiang, it is impossible to be caught by the Shenling royal family, so there is only one possibility. Alien evil race. Moreover, the collusion between the Shenling royal family and the foreign evil clan is probably extremely terrifying. However, Xiao Yang continued to wonder in his heart. Since the Shenling royal family colluded with the evil people from outside the realm, why did the Shenling Emperor Shenshin on the 7th floor of the underground palace collude with the ghost world? At the same time, the ghost world and the alien race. My brother and the Shenling royal family have a deep grievance. Also, my brother is also the supreme elder of Funxiang Pavilion, so this time we will have a good fight in the sect competition, Mu Yingying said with great interest. Your strength seems to have broken through to the early stage of the 7-star Do Di. Not long after, Mu Yingying came to her senses and looked at Xiao Yang, but she found out. Well, today's retreat has just ended, so I was busy coming over to see how you are doing. Xiao Yang said smoothly, but he regretted it after speaking. Yes. Mu Yingying was delighted when she heard the words, but she didn't show it. The two were speechless and walked around the forest slowly for a while before Mu Yingying spoke up. Xiao Yang, if I leave, will you miss me? Mu Yingying hesitated for a while, but decided to speak. Yes, yes. Xiao Yang took a few deep breaths, then looked at Mu Yingying's expectant expression, and spoke slightly. Thank you. Mu Yingying heard the words, her eyes were looking forward to her, and she was shining with a moving green spirit. It's just that Xiao Yang didn't know that what Mu Yingying thought was actually not a literal meaning, because it belonged to Mu Yingying's own little secret. This world is huge, and there are many bad people. Your identity is special. If you are seen by some people with bad intentions, what kind of bad thoughts will you designate? And I also have holy flames, and in the future, I will still have to fight against foreign evil races together. So we will meet again in the future. Xiao Yang comforted. Speaking of the extraterritorial evil race, that thing in your body. Mu Yingying hesitated for a while but decided to ask. That thing is no longer a serious problem. Xiao Yang was also afraid that Mu Yingying would be worried, so he didn't say it. Since you and your brother are all right, then I'm relieved. I still have some medicinal herbs that I haven't refined yet. I'll go first. Xiao Yang saw that Mu Yingying's mental state was much better, and it was getting late, so he immediately found an excuse to leave here. Mu Yingying agreed, but she was very happy. It seemed that Xiao Yang was as expected. And just as Xiao Yang left his forefoot, Yang Kai's figure slowly appeared. This is also something that can't be helped. Ever since Xiao Yang found Mu Yingying, Yang Kai has been lurking in the dark. After all, Mu Yingying is still an unmanned girl. Brother, I've decided that after this sect competition, I'll go back with you. Mu Yingying looked at Xiao Yang's figure walking away, the corner of her mouth smiling into a crescent shape, which was quite beautiful. All right. This time, in the sect competition, I understood Fen Tian's heart, and cured the dark disease in my body that I had been restrained for all these years, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Yang Kai's figure slowly walked out. Yang Kai originally wanted to refuse. After all, there are many night dreams in the human world, but seeing the last trace of expectation in Mu Yingying's pupils, it is not easy to refuse. But Yang Kai didn't know that it was precisely because of this decision that their brother and sister were separated from life and death after this sect competition. Emma, it's so hard to write here. I wrote it over and over for 2.5 hours. Please count the votes for comfort tilde. Next is the pig's feet. I will speed up the Xiao clan's series of things, and I will pay special attention to it in the future. Greatly reduce the number of supporting scenes. Mu Yingying and the other brothers and sisters left after the sect competition this time. That's fine, otherwise, Mu Yingying may not be able to explain where she is in the future. Xiao Yang left the forbidden area, and then went directly to Wu's Huju. On weekdays, Xiao Yang, relying on his powerful soul perception, naturally discovered some unusual behaviors of Mu Yingying and Yueru towards him. This kind of behavior is probably due to admiration, but Xiao Yang has always been a cruel person, but when facing the 2 daughters, he couldn't bear to refuse. I didn't expect that Sheng Yang, which is extremely rare to see on weekdays, would encounter so many in Xian Santian. Xiao Yang said in a while after walking for a while. Since both Yang Kai and Mu Yingying are cultivators of 2 holy flames, they also have 2 holy flames, but they don't know which ones they are. Even though you don't need to think about it, you know that the 2 of them are definitely higher than their own, but Xiao Yang is too embarrassed to ask. Not long after, he slowly came to Wu's Huju, but along the way, Xiao Yang discovered that in the past, the burning incense pavilion, which used to be very lively, could not see any disciples. Big brother, are you all right? Xiao Yi has been in the yard. Anyway, Xiao Yi's cultivation relies on advanced breakthroughs like monsters, so there is nothing to cultivate. It's okay, after their sect competition this time, they will return to their own place. Xiao Yang said softly. Them. It's really 2 holy flames. Although Xiao Yi faintly noticed it, she still couldn't believe it. Well, after all, everything has a spirit. Xiao Yang said slowly. By the way, Xiao Yi, why can't I see that there are no traces of other disciples in the Fenxiang pavilion? Is there something wrong? Xiao Yang said. Big brother, I think you are closed and confused. The sect competition is related to the honor of the entire sect. Now many brothers and sisters are in seclusion and cultivation, so naturally they are extremely deserted. Xiao Yi rolled her eyes at Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang heard the words and his head was covered with black lines. By the way, eldest brother, when you called me to join you in the underground palace of the Xianling royal family, I found a lot of traces of foreign evil races in the underground palace. Xiao Yi suddenly remembered something and said, well, I know about this. During the sect competition, you have to be careful about the Xianling royal family. I am afraid that this force has already been infiltrated by the evil clan outside the realm. Xiao Yang said in a deep voice. It's all right, I'll accompany you to the sect competition this time. Xiao Yi patted Xiao Yang's shoulder and said with a smile. You're already a 9-star fighting emperor. No, I have to go to retreat immediately. The scroll obtained in the Jiayue ruins has not yet started, and it is also possible to practice the following ruler method at the 7th level. Xiao Yang murmured in his heart. However, although the materials for resurrecting ancestor Xiao Xian have been prepared, there is only one important thing missing. Xiao Yang shook his head. What? Xiao Yi asked. Kanglonglu. Xiao Yang said calmly. Kanglonglu? This thing can only be found in the dragon race, and I'm afraid it will never be seen in the human world. Xiao Yi said directly after hearing this. I can only see if there is any way to replace it. After all, this is the last medicinal herb. Xiao Yang gritted his teeth and said slowly. What? What is this? Just when Xiao Yang was having a headache for the Canglong, suddenly there was a hint of guidance in the collection ring, and Xiao Yang discovered a rather mysterious bottle in the collection ring. Thing. I remember that there is no such thing in my collection ring. With a thought, the jade bottle appeared directly in Xiao Yang's hand. Xiao Yang held the jade bottle, and through the jade bottle, an extremely terrifying force came faintly from inside. Open it and take a look. If you have an idea in your mind, do it. Xiao Yang used his huge soul power to form a barrier around the two of them, and then Xiao Yang wrapped his palm with his soul power and gently removed the jade bottle. Just as the stopper of the jade bottle was removed, a loud dragon roar suddenly came from the jade bottle. Feeling this dragon's roar at such a close distance, not only Xiao Yang, but also Xiao Yina has stepped into the strength of the 9-star Do Emperor. The fighting chi in the body is instantly frozen like an ice sculpture, and the soul power is also instantly frozen. What the is this? So terrifying? In just a few short breaths, Xiao Yi and Xiao Yang couldn't take it anymore, but fortunately, Xiao Yang was quick-witted and quickly closed the bottle. This is Songlong saliva. The next moment, Xiao Yang closed the cork, and a maddened smile filled his face. Songlong saliva, what is that? Xiao Yi also felt a force that scared her from the extremely thick liquid in the jade bottle, and asked immediately. The evolved version of Kanglonglu, Kanglongxi. It is said that this thing can only be born with the pure blood of the real dragon family. The tempering materials used to make the body are the best. A flash of expression flashed in Xiao Yang's pupils. No, I clearly remember that I don't have this thing. Uncle Sha. The next moment, Xiao Yang suddenly thought of something, and then his soul power went directly into the ring. This thing is most likely the product of my uncle, the Golden Dragon King. No movement. After some investigation, the golden barrier in the ring was still extremely strong, so Xiao Yang had no choice but to give up. Xiao Yi, I'm afraid I'll have to go into deep seclusion for the next 6 months. Xiao Yang said solemnly, and after speaking, he immediately put away the jade bottle. No problem, if it's time for the sect competition, it's a big deal that we won't go. Xiao Yi naturally didn't have much interest in any sect competition, and everything was still dominated by Xiao Yang. The sect competition still needs to go. I will try my best to hurry up. I'll take a step first. Xiao Yang finished speaking and walked directly to a training room in their human palace. This training room was awarded to Xiao Yang by the human palace, and Xiao Yang has never used it. The materials are all complete now, and the ancestors have finally been resurrected. Xiao Yang walked towards the training room, but he was extremely happy. When I was in Dochi continent, I promised Xiao Shen's ancestor, and Xiao Yang had some secrets in his heart that he needed to ask Xiao Shen. Xiao Shen was the patriarch on the Dochi continent whose blood power had just begun to be interrupted. For this reason, he did not hesitate to gather the power of the entire clan to attack the Do Emperor in order to delay the bloodline. Although he failed, Xiao Yang knew that he must know something. If Xiao Shen is resurrected, no doubt some secrets in Xiao Yang's heart may surface. It's about to start. Hey. I'll come out after this little guy revives the Xiao clan. And among Xiao Yang's acceptance of the ring, an old man also said. This video will end here.